On a warm Thursday evening, 25-year-old Paul McDowell strolled down Bardowy Street in Glasgow's rough Possil Park, unaware of the horror closing in. As families lingered nearby, two men emerged from the shadows, armed with baseball bats and knives. In a blur of violence, they ambushed McDowell, stabbing him 3 times and bludgeoning him until he crumpled in a pool of blood. An innocent man, caught in a vicious drug war, McDowell died on the pavement, a chilling message carved by a ruthless hand. This was no random assault, but a calculated gangland hit, orchestrated by one of Scotland's most feared criminals. As the killers vanished, they left a trail that would unravel an empire built on drugs, guns, and terror. Welcome to Crime Pulse, where we expose the raw truth behind Britain's darkest crimes. If you're new here, please subscribe to join our pursuit of justice through stories of betrayal and retribution. Your support ensures we can keep unraveling these tales, delivering them straight to your feed with every new video. Leave a comment with your thoughts on this case to spark conversations about justice. Now, stay tuned for a pulse-pounding dive into Glasgow's underworld. In the early 2000s, Glasgow's north side was a war zone. Its streets like Possil Park, Maryhill, and Saracen awash with heroin and cocaine. Rival drug empires battled for control, turning neighborhoods into battlegrounds. At the heart of one such operation was Robert O'Hara, a 27-year-old enforcer who clawed his way from petty theft to become a feared kingpin in the city's criminal underworld. Known as the Birdman, a chilling nickname passed down through generations of his family and one that struck fear into locals, O'Hara ruled with a fist of iron, his name alone enough to silence a room. His criminal path ignited early. In 1997, at just 19, O'Hara, already entangled in petty crime and facing minor charges, was out on bail when he shot rival drug dealer Douglas Mills in the arm during a turf war in Glasgow's north side. The brazen attack landed him a 6-year sentence in a young offenders institution. Lord Abernethy, the presiding judge, called it a crime demanding a substantial period of custody. While behind bars, O'Hara forged ties with the McGovern crime family, one of Scotland's most powerful drug syndicates. These connections, rooted in shared dealings in Possil Park, deepened after the unsolved 2000 murder of Tony McGovern, a key figure whose death sparked a brutal gang war. Released in 2001, O'Hara dove headfirst into this escalating conflict, aligning with the McGoverns against rivals like Jamie Stevenson's crew, setting the stage for his rise as a feared kingpin. Just months after his release, O'Hara himself became a target. In a 2001 drive-by shooting in Possil Park, a gunman fired from a passing car, hitting O'Hara in the arms and legs. Bleeding heavily, he staggered into Brothers Bar on Saracen Street, collapsing before being rushed to Glasgow Royal Infirmary. He survived, but whispers spread that he began wearing a bulletproof vest, a sign of the dangers he faced. By 2004, O'Hara had built a sprawling drug empire, netting £500,000 a year from a £2 million turnover. He laundered profits through fronts like car washes in Maryhill and Springburn, masking his illicit wealth. His lavish lifestyle, a £400,000 penthouse in Glasgow's city centre, a £65,000 Audi sports car, reflected his success. His gang, a tight network of dealers, stockpiled weapons and enforced their turf with ruthless violence. As a police source put it, O'Hara terrorised a whole area of Glasgow and reaped substantial rewards. Yet, his rise sparked bitter rivalries, setting the stage for a deadly showdown in Possil Park. O'Hara's rise to power sparked fierce resistance in Glasgow's north side. A brutal struggle over the heroin trade erupted in Possil Park, pitting his gang against rival dealers vying for control. Central to this conflict was Douglas Mills, whose feud with O'Hara began with the 1997 shooting that sent O'Hara to prison. Now a key rival, Mills aligned with factions challenging O'Hara's grip, fueling a cycle of shootings and assaults that turned Possil Park into a battleground where loyalty was demanded and betrayal met with blood. The violence escalated in June 2004 when O'Hara unleashed his enforcers. Robert Murray, his trusted right-hand man and a seasoned killer, led a savage assault on James Elder, a figure tied to rival factions. Elder was battered unconscious and slashed across the face and body in a Glasgow back alley, a brutal warning to anyone crossing O'Hara's path. Murray's cold efficiency sent a clear message. Resistance would be crushed without mercy. But warnings weren't enough. O'Hara wanted dominance. He needed a kill that would silence every doubter, and he found his target in Paul McDowell. Paul McDowell, a 25-year-old local with no deep ties to the underworld, just a local lad who made one fatal mistake. He was Dougie Mills's brother-in-law through his sister Debbie, and known to associate with others defying O'Hara. McDowell symbolized everything O'Hara wanted to destroy. Police later called him an innocent victim, a pawn caught in a power struggle between more powerful men. On July 22, 2004, around 9 p.m., the trap snapped shut. Outside the Saracen pub on Bardowy Street, Colin McKay, a low-level dealer desperate to clear his £2,000 drug debt to O'Hara, alongside Robert Murray, the same man who'd carved up Elder a month before, struck. In a ferocious ambush, they battered McDowell with batons and plunged knives into him multiple times. He collapsed in a pool of blood on the pavement, his life draining away as families walked nearby. One attacker dialed O'Hara immediately. Moments later, O'Hara himself arrived, staring down at the body to confirm his order was carried out. The prosecution later noted the assault had all the hallmarks of a planned or directed attack, a public execution designed to terrify Possil Park into submission. These acts of calculated brutality tightened O'Hara's iron grip but ignited a firestorm. A determined police force, backed by a community ready to break their silence, moved in to dismantle his empire. The brutal murder of Paul McDowell sent shockwaves through Possil Park's tight-knit community, where fear of Robert O'Hara's wrath had long silenced witnesses. His terrifying reputation kept locals in check, but McDowell's status as an innocent, well-liked figure broke the dam. Grieving residents began to speak, their courage fueled by outrage over a life senselessly taken. CCTV footage captured O'Hara and his right-hand man, Robert Murray, near the Saracen pub shortly after the killing, though their status as local residents muddied efforts to pin them to the crime. Strathclyde Police, led by Detective Michael Orr, struck back with relentless force. Raids on gang safe houses uncovered a chilling arsenal. In flats on Niven Street, Maryhill, officers seized a Mac M11 sub-machine gun, the first of its kind found in Scotland, capable of unleashing 600 rounds a minute, alongside a sawn-off shotgun, a revolver, magnum rounds, dum-dum bullets, and a stash of heroin. Another safe house in Cumbernauld yielded more drugs, while £100,000 in cash was found hidden under the floorboards of O'Hara's grandfather's home. These discoveries laid bare the scale of O'Hara's empire, but the investigation hinged on breaking the wall of fear. Colin McKay, the debt-ridden henchman who wielded the knife, was arrested first, his role as the stabber unraveling under police scrutiny. O'Hara, sensing the net tightening, fled to Mexico on a £5,840 cash-paid luxury holiday with his girlfriend, Michelle Maxwell. Their escape was short-lived. In August 2004, police detained them at Glasgow Airport, seizing £2,500 in cash from O'Hara's luggage. At the station, he taunted detectives with a chilling question: "What if I ordered someone to do it?" Meanwhile, the gang's desperation surfaced in a failed attempt to offer a £10,000 bribe to a witness's sister to alter her testimony, though the charge was later found not proven. The investigation's success owed much to Possil Park's residents. Many witnesses, placed under full police protection to shield them from O'Hara's reach, came forward with crucial details. Detective Michael Orr hailed this shift. The impact of taking violent drug dealers off the street is massive. Members of the public are now speaking out, helping us reclaim communities from fear. This groundswell of cooperation, bolstered by forensic evidence and CCTV, built an ironclad case, setting the stage for a high-stakes showdown in court. The investigation's ironclad case led to a high-stakes showdown at the High Court in Dunfermline, moved from Glasgow due to O'Hara's chilling threats and relentless witness intimidation. For 6 weeks in early 2005, armed police patrolled the courthouse, and strict security checks shielded the proceedings from his gang's reach. Robert O'Hara, the mastermind; Robert Murray, his ruthless right-hand man; Colin McKay, the debt-driven killer; and Brian Kelly, the loyal gunkeeper, faced a barrage of charges: murder, attempted murder, conspiracy to murder, drug dealing, firearms offences, and attempting to pervert justice. Witnesses, many hidden under full police protection programs to escape O'Hara's wrath, laid bare the gang's reign of terror. Former associates, risking their lives, testified to O'Hara's iron grip over Possil Park's drug trade, his money laundering fronts, and his orders for brutal violence. Their courage, fueled by the community's outrage over Paul McDowell's senseless death, painted a damning picture. The jury delivered a swift verdict. O'Hara, Murray, and McKay were convicted of McDowell's murder, while Kelly was found guilty of conspiracy. Murray also faced justice for the June 2004 attempted murder of James Elder, his savage attack exposed as part of O'Hara's campaign to crush rivals. On May 23, 2005, at the High Court in Edinburgh, under heightened security, Lord Dawson handed down a combined minimum of 56 years. O'Hara received life with a 20-year minimum. Murray got 12 years minimum. McKay received 14 years, and Kelly, rebuked for storing firearms and being ready to use them, was jailed for 10 years. The judge condemned them for an evil criminal conspiracy to murder a young man. To O'Hara, there is little I can say to reflect the revulsion every decent citizen must feel about you. You are a despicable criminal, one of the worst I've had the misfortune to come across. He called Murray O'Hara's right-hand man at his shoulder to do his bidding, and McKay a lackey, who killed for him as casually as if he asked you to get him a pint of milk. You are no better than a hired assassin. The verdict echoed Possil Park's collective sigh of relief, but it was the community's bravery in speaking out that tipped the scales. O'Hara's shadow loomed large, hinting at a legacy far from finished. The High Court's verdict caged Robert O'Hara, but his shadow over Glasgow's underworld refused to fade. In 2009, his appeal against the McDowell murder conviction crumbled, with judges dismissing claims of jury misdirection and withheld evidence. By 2010, he forfeited over £130,000 in seized assets, mere fragments of his estimated £2 million drug empire. As courts noted, these were only glimpses of his true wealth. Yet prison walls couldn't contain the Birdman's reach. His reign of terror continued, orchestrated from behind bars with chilling precision. As early as 2012, reports surfaced of O'Hara running a sprawling heroin network from his cell, using fear to control dealers like Stephen Patterson. Operating in Possil Park, Patterson peddled high-purity drugs, boasting of O'Hara's protection while tracking debtors on a tick list and managing operations via a password-protected laptop. O'Hara's influence grew even darker in 2019 when he allegedly ordered a vicious cleaver attack on former associate Dylan Haldane in Maryhill. 2 hatchet-wielding assailants left Haldane for dead, a brutal reminder of O'Hara's unrelenting vendettas. Between 2018 and 2021, while at HMP Addiewell and HMP Low Moss, O'Hara masterminded a sophisticated crime syndicate, producing and supplying Class A drugs, including street Valium churned out by an industrial pill press. Using free illicit prison phones, he sent texts, voice messages, and photos, directing daily operations with ruthless efficiency. Proceeds laundered through fronts like Maryhill and Springburn car washes funded a lavish lifestyle for his partner, Michelle Maxwell, and daughter, Kendall. Their spoils included a £635,000 Park Circus flat, a £225,000 Lamborghini, a £135,000 Audi, a £110,000 Range Rover, designer clothes, jewelry, and a Rolex Daytona worth thousands. O'Hara even sent Rightmove links for high-value properties, demanding secrecy with a chilling warning. See if my family are papped out, there will be no talking. We will be falling out over this. Police raids in 2021 seized over £300,000 in cash, luxury items, drugs, firearms, grenades, and ammunition. Yet courts called these hauls mere snapshots of his vast empire. O'Hara's debts to the McGovern family, including £100,000 owed at the time of his 2004 arrest, stirred tensions. Paul McGovern, a senior family member, reportedly fumed when police seized £100,000 from O'Hara's grandfather's home, hinting at potential retribution. His criminal reach persisted. In September 2024, O'Hara was convicted of assault to injury at HMP Low Moss, adding to his 10 prior convictions, which included road traffic offences alongside his major crimes. Then, on March 3, 2025, at the High Court in Glasgow, he pleaded guilty via video link to directing serious organised crime. Prosecutor Alex Prentice declared, O'Hara was the principal of the crime group, despite being in prison since 2004. Facing a 14-year maximum, his 12-year sentence, reduced to 9 for an early plea, was deemed upper end due to the operation's very substantial scale. Lord Harrower, finding no mitigation, added it to his term. Despite claiming £10,391 in taxpayer-funded legal aid for his defense by Donald Findlay, O'Hara insisted he wanted to get everything sorted for his family. Now 47, O'Hara's 20-year minimum for McDowell's murder expired on August 25, 2024, making him parole eligible, but the 2025 sentence pushed freedom far beyond reach. As one source noted, he inspires terror regardless of his location. In the world he ruled, violence was currency, and justice, though delayed, struck hard. Yet, for Paul McDowell and Glasgow's scarred communities, the wounds endure, a haunting reminder of the Birdman's brutal legacy. Thank you for joining us on Crime Pulse, where we dive deep into Britain's darkest crimes to uncover the raw truth. If the shocking tale of Robert O'Hara's brutal empire left you speechless, smash that subscribe button to stay hooked on our relentless pursuit of justice. Drop a comment below. Tell us what stunned you most: the cold-blooded murder of Paul McDowell, O'Hara's chilling control from behind bars, or the community's courage that brought him down. Share this video to spread the word, and join our Crime Pulse community to ensure no story goes untold. Get ready for the next gripping dive into the underworld,